Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nabila Qabbani. Welcome to my channel Fingerprint in IT. In this video, we will talk about the integration between PRTG and PowerBI, so you can make use of PowerBI features to have advanced analytics and insights. We will be integrating PRTG with PowerBI through API. To start with, we need to decide on the authentication method. We can either have a separate user account that will be used specifically for that purpose, or we can have an API token. In this example, I will go for the API token for the simplicity. Let's give it a name. It is always recommended to give the least privilege required for the actions that will be taken. In our example, read access only will be enough. We will copy the generated token, as we will not be able to see it again. And this is our token has been generated. Now we need to structure our API calls. We can take the help of PRTG API. As we have used the API token, we can see from here how we can add it to authenticate through the API. So we will be having an ampersand API token equal the generated API. If you are using a user account, you can also use the username and passhash instead of having only the plain text password. In the live data, we have a table query builder. Here we can select whatever we want, and PRTG will help us to get the call that we need. We will be generating two calls, the first one for the devices and the second one for the sensors. So we will have list of all devices, and we want it to be in CSV format. These will be the columns. So for example, we will have the object ID, the probe, the group, the device, the host or the IP address, or if it's DNS name, depends. Then the sensors. In the count, we will be adding how many of the devices that we want to get out of this call. I usually keep an asterisk to get everything, otherwise the default will be 500. Let's run the query. And here it has generated for us the API call. In the query results, you can see the results of it. So let's add the beginning of the URL. I'm using this IP address because the PRTG and PowerBI all will be working from the same server. So let's read the call. Here it's saying table.xml. This is a mistake. We will just fix it and convert it to CSV. The content will be devices, output will be in CSV tables. These are the columns that will get generated. In the columns, I always like to add another column, which is the tags, as I usually use the tags to segregate things in PRTG. So when you export things outside, you can easily filter them, for example, by department or by technology. This is the count, and we have the API token. You can also test this by, for example, putting it in the browser and confirm that you are getting the output. So our CSV has been downloaded. You can open the file and verify that the content is correct. Now we will move to Power BI. From Get Data, we will use the Web option. We will add our URL. And as you can see, it was able to get for us the CSV format that's generated, or the output. You can keep everything as it is and click on Load. As you can see, we have got our table loaded, and it will contain the information that is for each and every device. Now we need to do the same but for the sensors. Let's go back to our table query builder, and now we will export the list of sensors. We also want it to be in CSV, and in the count we will put asterisk. Let's generate it. Let's add the authentication. As we will require a way to link between the devices and the sensors in Power BI, we will require to have this specification of linking. So when we think about it, the way that we can link them between each other is through the ID. But here the object ID will refer to the sensors, not the device. So to have the device ID, we can add the parent ID, which we will have it in a separate column. Let's add our call to Power BI. We forgot to fix this one, it should be CSV. Now let's try again. And here we will get the list of sensors, and this parent ID will refer to the device. So this one will be devices. And this one will be sensors. We can now filter out some unrequired columns For example, this one, this one, let's do the same for the devices. Okay, I have lost the selection. But anyway, this is the idea. From here, you can go creative with whatever you need in Power BI, whatever analysis. You can create more tables with the specifications that reference these two tables, or if you need anything else, you can as well implement it. This is the primary idea that you can use. Let's upload it. And now we have our data ready, and we can start building visuals out of it. As well, we can make a relation between the two tables by the parent ID we have imported in the sensors. We can fix the relationship from the properties. So we might have more than one parent ID, because we will have multiple sensors that all relate to one device. So we will have the parent ID repeated. So we can have here many to one. Now, for example, I can make a table of all of the down sensors. And I can filter the status. For example, I want everything that contains down or contains warning. Okay, so when we refresh the data, we are having everything here. Great, so this is how we can filter things, and now we have only the status for the sensors that are down or warning. We have the sensor, and we have as well the device name. We were able to link the sensor with the device through the relation that we have built. And now you can do whatever analysis you need, and you can build the dashboard that you require for your data. Thank you for watching this video.